Hey guys, I don't know really if anybody's gonna see this, but man, I've been just dealing with a lot of, just attacks like crazy. This weekend I was watching my mom's house, and my dog and her dog, they just kept like going crazy, looking out the windows and growling, and I was like, there's a war out there, I knew there was a war going on. It's like all weekend I was in my Bible and repenting, and I just feel like time is so short, and there's like, did I miss my chances? Did I waste too much of my life? Too much of the time that I've had in the Lord? Like I keep getting, it's attacks from the enemy, condemning myself, just feeling like, I should have been, not drinking pop. I should have been walking more, exercising more, reading my Bible more, of course. That's like one. I've just had some really weird things happen. Like probably a month ago, like I had the joy of the Lord, and I was told not to do my testimony until I was fully delivered and healed. And I know I'm still dealing with like rejection spirits, rebellion spirits, like legalism from my upbringing. And so the legalism sometimes, like right now, I get to the place where I feel like if I don't feel God's presence, and I just feel like He's mad at me, and I just forget that He loves me so much. He only wants good for me, and everything that is good that is in me comes from Him. And I recently, my husband's dad reached out to me on Facebook to accept him as, he had a friend request, and that brought up a lot of trauma, past traumas. My husband was murdered 5 years ago, and his family blamed me because before we were married, he was sober for years, like 3 or 4 years. And when we got married, he kind of trapped me, I guess you'd say, into marrying him, and then, we started using. But his family, they blamed me, and I went through a lot of trauma with him because he was at a rehab, like 3-quarter house or recovery house, whatever, and he was on his way to the bus stop. Well, we were in touch because we're married and we're getting our lives together. He's sober, and trying to work this out. Well, when he died, his family, I don't know, but like they told me they weren't gonna have a funeral. Well, I didn't have the money at the time. And I probably could have got help with the state for a funeral. Well, they paid for the funeral and everything. They didn't ask me for any money or anything. And then they said there wasn't going to be a funeral. It was just going to be private, a couple people, and they just, and I could come there at 3 o'clock. I got there at 3, and they had a funeral. I mean, it was all set up. And then the people at the funeral home was like, the family only wants you to have 5 minutes with him. That was devastating. They had an open casket. He was shot in the back 4 times, so that was how they were able to do an open casket. And his friends and cousins and stuff, we all had a memorial, out at the lake with those lanterns and stuff. Because they all knew it was real crappy what they did to me, because they all knew how much Chris loved me. And but I mean, there was so much trauma just in the act of him being murdered, and somebody violating someone that you love to take their life. There's no words, And so when his dad contacted me, what it brought up was trauma of when they interrogated me. They went into all my social media, all my messaging. I didn't even have to give them my passwords. They went through my phone. They'd be asking me questions, and they were really mean. Like, they just think you're lying, no matter what. That's how they act. And I would start crying. I mean, they're showing me pictures and stuff, and they're showing me GPS of where I've been, where I was, and I would start to cry, because it was so devastating. And they would just tell me, shut up. You don't understand how serious this is. You need to be serious. And I'm just like, are you not human? Like, what? But anyway, so this brought me, it's like a week ago. It really freaked me out. Like, I literally, when I saw that he friend requested me, it made me sick to my stomach. Well, I cried out to the Lord, and I was like, Lord, I knew that I needed, there was some deliverance that I needed, and there's something right there that was ready to be exposed. And I was on my face to the Lord. I was crying out. I was wrestling with the Lord, just like, Jacob. And I was just like, but I knew he would deliver me. Well, it was the next morning. I was on my way to work, and I worship and pray in the morning, because I have like an hour ride to work. Well, it was really snowy and icy. All of a sudden, I got this vision of my husband, and then just this feeling of trauma, like this deep rooted feeling, and it was demonic. And I just started crying, just weeping, and then wailing, and then whatever it just was gone. First I got this heat over me. It's like the Holy Spirit came upon me, and this thing, whatever it was, it couldn't stay. But it was trying to give me a vision, trying to scare me before, I had to leave. And it had whatever this whale was, and it finally come out, it happened twice, and then it was gone, and I just felt I felt like I could pass out. I felt really stoned, just the Holy Spirit on me, and then just the relief of that thing being gone. Well, what I think happened is that because we need deliverance, and you have oppression from just years of trauma and abuse and sin, it's like when that layer is gone, then something else comes up. I was feeling very, like I had joy and everything was great. And I started getting these stupid lies, like the devil was on me the same day. And I'm like, Lord, there's got to be a grace period. I mean, if you deliver me of something like this, at least give me like 48 hours to where I can renew my mind and like strengthen up. But now it was just like, bam, on me that day. And just made me think these crazy thoughts. And then here's another thing. This is crazy. I mean, the devil is trying all these things with me. Here's another crazy story in my life. I have many, many crazy stories. I could write a book and you wouldn't even believe it. You wouldn't believe some of this crap. Well, anyways, before my brother died, it was like 10 years ago, I was with this guy. And I really didn't want to be with him anymore because he was just like scandalous, you know. And so I told him to leave. It was like a Monday. He came back on a Wednesday. He's like sitting on my bed by me and he tried to like touch me. I was like, what are you doing? Like, I'm not with you. And he's like, what do you mean you're not with me? And he started, so I like shoved him away and like scratched him. Well, he come around the bed and his eye, he had like bright, light, real light blue eyes, beautiful blue eyes. And they turned black and his fists were like this. And he started punching me with both fists in the face. And I was knocked out. I had 2 cats. Well, I woke up to my cats that were by my face and woke up and I'm like, oh my gosh, you know? So I went and I had a house phone at this time and I had a work phone because I worked for mental health as a counselor. Get that. And then I'm with this whack job abuser, but I didn't know. So anyway, and then he grabbed both my phones that I had in my hand and he hit me so hard in the temple, the left temple. Well, that gave me a 6-inch brain bleed. So when I ended up going to the hospital, you know, they did a CAT scan and then they come up behind me with a wheelchair and they're like, we need to get you up to the 6th floor, which is the neuro department, whatever. So I had to be on this bed and the bed just moved, you know, and I had to get CAT scans all the time to make sure the bleed wasn't going and clotting. It was really whacked. But anyway, he went to prison. So with all that, lately, okay, a couple months ago, he contacted me on Facebook. So he's out of prison by now. He went to prison for 4 years because he took my phones. That's what he went to prison for. And I, didn't say anything, didn't do anything, just blocked him, whatever. Well, he had the guts to go to my dad's house not too long ago, recently, and ask for me, and ask how I'm doing to my dad. He's not supposed to have contact with me ever in his lifetime. Now, I don't know if these things are coming up because I didn't forgive. I thought I forgave, man. I mean, I used to write notes of people that I needed to forgive that had hurt me, and I would pray Matthew 5, 43, and 44 over them. And then there's Matthew 18. I did a lot of work with forgiveness, and you can choose to forgive because you're commanded to forgive. The feelings that go along with it, that the Holy Spirit needs to take that away from me. That needs to be supernaturally, taken. And I guess I just didn't realize that I had unforgiveness, and it wasn't even I had forgiven these people. I didn't forgive myself. And I've been just struggling with not having joy. And I would say a Christian without their joy is it's useless. Satan wants to take your joy. I stopped praying. My main prayer was, Lord, help me to love you. Help me to love you and do the first commandment, love you with all that I have, because I know if you do the first commandment, the second one falls into line. Everything falls into line, really. If you can put the Lord first and love him with all you have, everything falls into line. Wow, that's great. So, anyways, and then I had unforgiveness to God. I was under the stars the other night, and I was just crying out to God, the three most important people in my life, the closest people in my life, my brother, then my husband, and then my best friend. They all died tragic deaths. And I don't talk to people really, my parents and my dad's dying, but I was close to the Lord, and I could deal with it because I had the joy of the Lord. I knew if I had the joy of the Lord, I could trust him. Anything could happen, and it really would be okay, because I know, he's right there, and he's not going to allow anything to touch my life without it going through his hands first. The other night, I was angry at God and yelling at him, and I couldn't even believe it. I couldn't believe I was saying this stuff to my Creator. But then deep down, I knew that it was something that had to be done, and the Holy Spirit was with me the whole time. Pretty amazing, the Creator of the universe, you yelling and screaming at him that he loves you so much that he just wants you to know, what's going on. You need to forgive me. You need to forgive yourself. I felt shame for having all that anger. And I really didn't realize. I just didn't think that I had it in me to be angry at God like that. And lately, last week, I was drinking a little bit. Just feeling so overwhelmed and not even knowing what was going on. Trying to call out to the Lord, studying the Word, just wanting to be alone by myself, and drinking liquor, and just being stupid. Your inhibitions go down, and then you message stupid stuff to people, and then you gotta apologize. So I don't know. We do need to confess one to another and just stay repentant. Ask the Lord to give you the gift of repentance. Another thing, and I have verses to back this up, ask for a gift of hate. If you have a hard time getting rid of sin, wow, that person's in my life. Ask for the gift of hate. Lord, help me to hate what you hate and to love what you love. Give me a gift of hate, Lord. Keep me from self-deception. Keep me from these spirits that want to harm me, but I'm comfortable with. If that makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense. I just don't know. feel overwhelmed and confused. I'm being attacked so much this weekend. Being alone, I heard this screech like it was so weird. Like somebody took like something and just scraped my house, like half the house. It was so loud, and then my dogs going crazy, and there was a war outside of my house, and praise God, He protects me. I know He loves me, and there's just sometimes I get self-condemnation, and a lot of that comes from my past, growing up in the Baptist religion. Very legalistic, and you can't do this, you can't do that. Oh, if you smoke cigarettes or whatever, like that has anything to do with your spirituality, And then you got these people that have pride in their heart, false pride, spiritual pride, and people just think that they're perfect, or they think that they're perfect, So humble. The Lord wants humility, broken heart, and contrite spirit. Create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Keep me broken for the lost. I don't even know if this even made much sense, but I'm just really struggling, and I just feel like I started talking to people within the community and stuff, and was in the chats and stuff, and now I just feel like, I don't know, I just don't want drama in my life, I do want a fellowship with people, though. I do feel like I've learned a lot in the last 4 years. The Lord gives me insight into things. I used to be a counselor, so I know I have, some kind of a gift of, edification, maybe. But, anyways, I'm almost home. I don't know if I'll upload this. Maybe I should. I don't know if anybody else is feeling like this. I mean, just like a regret, a shame also. We're so close, and there should have been so much that I could have been doing. And I just pray, Lord, give us time. Give us time to win the loss, Lord. Tribulation is ready to pop off with all this weird stuff. Medical martial law, and who knows what else. Who knows? Lord, I pray that you find me worthy to escape all these things. And I love you, Lord. Help me to love you. Help me to trust you with all that I have. And help me to love your people. Weird, my phone just popped out of the socket. So anyway, I love everybody, and I pray for the saints. If anybody needs prayer, I love to pray for people. I just love it, because then the Lord reveals himself, and it grows your faith, man, when the Lord answers your prayers. Anyways, and I do have a lot of love to give, so I do love you. I have a lot of faults, of course, but just gotta keep trying and keep evaluating yourself and repenting and asking the Lord to sanctify and change you and to keep the new man alive and keep that old man hidden. Love you.